Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new Halacha for you, and it's for Friday, the 4th day of March. Here we go. Well, this Halacha is about Shabbos, the 5th day of March, and that's because this Shabbos it's going to be Parshas Shekalim, Shabbos Shekalim. Let me explain what that is. The idea is that when the Beis Hamikdash stood, what used to happen is all Jews would donate a half shekel to the communal fund. A half shekel would be like kind of like a $50 of what their currency was. They would donate that amount to the treasuries at the Beis Hamikdash, and those monies would be used to buy communal offerings that would be brought throughout the year, so that everybody could have a portion in what was being given in those communal offerings. They would say, well, I chipped in, we all chipped in, we all gave a half shekel to that way back before Nisan arrived. And when Nisan would arrive, that's still over a month away, when Nisan would arrive, all communal offerings from that point on would be brought with monies that were collected during that year. So you wouldn't want to use like the monies from a year before it for the communal offerings that were being brought in the next year. So Rosh Chodesh Adar would be the perfect time to get the collection going, and everybody would chip in throughout the month of Adar, and then all the new monies would be ready for the communal offerings to be brought and have the money taken from those new collections, and that would start on Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Now, with our great sins today and our not having merited the rebuilding of the Beis Hamikdash, the temple, so we can only commemorate that, and we can't really have all these beautiful things going on. So we like to commemorate this by at least reading about the special portion from the Parsha of Kisisa, and we'll be reading it on this coming Shabbos, on Shabbos Shekalim, and we will read about exactly that, how the Jews used to give a half shekel to these communal funds, and by reading it and learning about it, well, that's the closest we can come to fulfilling this mitzvah. So everyone in Shul will hear a special extra, another Torah will be taken out, and a special reading will be read from that Torah in the beginning piece of Kisisa, which talks about this mitzvah, and that's the closest you and I can come to fulfilling this mitzvah. We do one other thing, and that is most people take care of this right before Purim. There are little collection things at the shul where there are 3 silver half dollars put in a container or a basket or something. You make a donation, you pick up the 3 half shekels. Well, they're not half shekels, they're half silver dollars, and you symbolically give them to the collection. You're giving money, and then you lift them up, and they're kind of sort of yours for a moment, and you give them back to the collection, and we do that as a symbolic gesture. That's as close also as we could come to fulfilling that mitzvah. So that's Shabbos Shekalim this coming Shabbos. It's going to mean that we're going to take out 2 Torahs. We're going to read that special reading from the second Torah. A special Haftorah goes along with it, discussing that same topic. If this were, I should say, Shabbos Shekalim always happens on the Shabbos right before Rosh Chodesh Adar. If there are 2 Adars like this year, it happens right before Rosh Chodesh Adar Sheni, and that's what we got this coming Shabbos. If Rosh Chodesh had fallen out on Shabbos, then we would be actually reading from 3 Torahs, one in the regular Parsha of Vayakel, another one in the Rosh Chodesh reading, and another one in the Shabbos, the Shekalim reading. Well, we're only doing 2 because it's not Rosh Chodesh. Rosh Chodesh is coming up next week, and that's some of the stuff that you need to know for Parsha Shekalim for this week. The next special Parsha, kind of like it, is 2 weeks away, and that's the one where we'll be reading Parsha Zachar in honor of upcoming Purim, but it's not time for that one just yet. Thanks for logging on, and log on again after Shabbos for more. Bye-bye.